Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Knock at the Cabin, directed by M. Night Shyamalan and starring Dave Bautista, Johnathan Groff, Rupert Grint, Ben Aldridge, Abby Quinn, Nikki Yamuka Bird and Kristen Q. A happy couple and their child on a cabin break are suddenly disturbed by a knock at the door, where 4 invaders ask them to make a sacrifice to save the world. Jumping straight into the positives about Knock at the Cabin, I thought Dave Bautista was excellent. A clear standout performance from him here. He really is becoming quite the accomplished actor at this stage. Once again, he's very impressive here, and I'm excited to see what else he's got in store for us. But to be honest with you, the whole cast was really solid here. It was great to see Rupert Grint again, and I also thought the child actor was really good, which can so often be problematic, especially in an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
This picture on this cereal box is supposed to make you feel happy. I feel sad like that time you forgot to pick me up at school.
I also thought the character work was much improved by Shyamalan here, especially when compared to films like Old or The Happening. These people felt real, at least, which is a strange positive because that should be a given, really, but not always the case with M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, need I remind you of, you like hot dogs? I like hot dogs. Yeah, sometimes you have to wonder if M. Night Shyamalan's ever interacted with a human being ever. But actually, in this one, much tidier, much better. There are some little flakes of that M. Night Shyamalan bad dialogue here and there, but it's much more under control, it's much more on a leash. It's also filmed really nicely, the set design is great, as is some of the location choices. There's some really nice cinematography on display here. There's moments where backgrounds are blurred and sometimes you'd think that would be crisper and clearer and really take it in, but sometimes I actually liked that effect. It made it feel more hazy and dreamlike, and I think that's intentional. And for some of the more eagle-eyed viewers, there are little Easter eggs in the background, which was a very nice touch. Sadly, that's where the positives end though, and a big list of cons begins. I'm sorry, M. Night. I like you. I do. I'm sorry, but I just have to be honest with you. I'm being mean with love, okay? To be brutally honest with you, I just didn't find this interesting or compelling. I can't say I ever cared or was ever invested. Nothing about it was that deep. It presents its issue, sits with it, does nothing with it, then repeats itself and sits with it and does nothing with it. And it just does that over and over and over until we run out of time, basically. I don't get what the point of this movie is. Why does it exist? What was it trying to say? That we should believe in visions if we have them? Because I'm not sure. In fact, it's only in the aftermath and the autopsy of the film and discussing it with Mrs. IMO that I feel like the movie was trying to say this message, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I feel like the movie is trying to say message A, and sadly it ends up saying something completely different instead. It's just a bit messy in its presentation and delivery, and I'm a little bit disappointed because this is just very simple for Shyamalan. Still manages to barely achieve anything or strike up anything interesting in conversation or thought about its topic of discussion. It just wastes time. And it's only an hour and 40 minutes long. It very clearly has been built on a half-baked idea of, hey, what if that happened? That would be cool. But that's the only development it had. They never took the idea any further. They never thought about it. They never wondered if maybe that bit didn't make sense. And it really shows. And then to really take the piss, rather than let the audience figure it out for themselves or be in for a surprise of any kind whatsoever, no, they literally spell it out for you. Yeah, it's so dumb. I physically face-palmed in the cinema. And as I mentioned before, there are definitely those M. Night Shyamalan fingerprints all over this movie at times, with just stupid decisions that if he just stopped, took a breath, thought about it, and actually, went through a second draft, a third draft, a fourth draft, he could have had something special, but he just seems to rush through everything and make really stupid mistakes. There is a moment in this movie when a tsunami is being recorded and it gets hit by the tsunami, and yet somehow the footage was recovered. moments after it happened. How? Where from? And if he had just stopped and thought about it, he could have just fixed that by having, I don't know, a helicopter news team recording it from the skies, rather than the magical mystery of footage being hit by a 20-foot wall of water and still miraculously being found in the exact moment that it happened and being broadcast on the news live while the thing is happening. I just couldn't get into a groove with this one. I thought it was stupid and I thought it was boring. And that's the most disappointing thing for me. With M. Night Shyamalan, it can be good, it can be bad, but it doesn't really matter because I know it's going to be entertaining either way, and I'm definitely going to walk out of it with something to say. This one was neither good nor bad, but it also wasn't entertaining, and I frankly have almost nothing to say about it. I'd honestly rather sit and watch Lady in the Water than Knock at the Cabin. Lady in the Water is atrocious, but at least I can laugh at it. Whereas Knock at the Cabin, I am going to completely and utterly forget the existence of this movie within a week. So I'm going to give Knock at the Cabin a 3 out of 10. I'm so disappointed, and once again, M. Night gets me hyped up for absolutely nothing. One day he will find consistency. One day. It's a really dumb movie that seems so confused itself. It doesn't know what it wants to do, say, or what direction it wants to go in. So instead it just treads water and wet farts its way through a finale while somehow pretending to be profound. Trust me, it isn't. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And please be sure to hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Knock at the Cabin? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of the mad ramblings of a ginger, you can always click on these suggested videos here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.